there's two things that I wanted to talk about today, and it's actually kind of cool for one of them. We'll get to this that part there in a second, which is the Sega Genesis Mini 2. But the first thing I want to talk about, just real quick here, and I thought this was kind of cool, was the announcement that we have. Oh, why do I have two of these up here? Okay, I thought I just had one, but anyways. So the first one is basically Nintendo has announced that Bayonetta 3 is going to be releasing later in October, October the 28th to be exact there. So this is basically the Bayonetta 3 Trinity Masquerade Edition. So as you can see here, you get a little bit of a box there. It says Bayonetta 3. The artwork does look pretty cool. There's some, speaking of which, there's a book that comes with this, some artwork. There's what I assume are like cards or maybe like little mini posters or something. But the one notable thing here, and take note here, Sony, because, I know I talked about the God of War's Ragnarok here, but there's a physical edition here. Look at that. Physical edition. And speaking of physical editions, we scroll down here because this was also popping up on their Twitter feed here. And also, right down here, a physical edition of the first Bayonetta will also be available later on, so stay tuned. And that's actually pretty cool, especially for anybody who's really into collecting for the Switch specifically, because up until now, the only way to play the first Bayonetta game was if you bought Bayonetta 2, and then it came with a download code that you could just use to get this game and just play it that way. That's okay, I guess, but it's just it's kind of funny now that they're now going to give us a physical edition. So now you'll be able to get all three Bayonetta games physically on one console, and I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, and just the collector's edition itself does look pretty badass. So that's pretty cool. And that's one thing I wanted to touch on here. The next one is, like I said, with the Sega Genesis Mini 2. We get to see the box. Obviously, I knew it was going to look similar to the original, kind of like the first one that we got. And this also came out with a new video. This is all in English now. This isn't like one of the Japanese ones that I've seen already, but this one's going to be coming out. And it's kind of funny. This comes out a day earlier, one day before Bayonetta 3. But there's two questions that I have now with this. Well, I guess three. One is, are we going to see any more games from now until this releases, thus giving us like all the list of games? Because so far all the list of games, as we scroll down here, these are all the games here. I know I've highlighted these already in a couple other videos, so you can go check that out if you're interested. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to show us anything more aside from that. And my second one is, there was no price, there was no like official price on this. I kind of want to assume it's like maybe $70-$80 or something like that. I don't know. There's no price here that I can see. There wasn't anything in this little clip that I saw. I'm not going to show that because, like I said, it's no different than what I've already seen. It's just somebody talking in English and I can understand them. So that was one, or that was two, excuse me. The third one, and this one, I was very shocked about this. Okay, so right here, let me bring this up. I had to find it here real quick because I downloaded this. I wanted to kind of like get a bigger picture here. So if we look at the box, the front of the box here, my last question is simply this. Like, yeah, the box looks great and everything, and it tells you right underneath the picture here of what's going to be included. Okay, so you get the Genesis Mini Console number 2, the USB power adapter, power cord, HDMI. Right here, though, it says one wired controller pad. I mean, with the first Mini, you gave us 2 controllers, Sega. What the hell? Like, you're kind of scaling back a little bit here. I guess it's not a big deal, but you better be able to, buy a second one if this doesn't really come with a second controller. So that's just kind of odd to me that they would kind of go backwards a little bit with like, what, you're just going to give us one controller? Like, you gave us 2 with the first one. And also there was no mention about the attachment piece, the Sega CD attachment. It doesn't really matter if you get the attachment piece. It's purely for aesthetics. So there was no mention of that either. So while this is good news, we know when it's coming out, which is October 27th again. I think that's awesome. The problem is just like no price. There was no talk about the add-on piece. There weren't any more games announced, but we might get that from now until till that point. And the biggest one is that there's only one controller. That's just really an odd decision. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about that. It just kind of like, I guess if I had to say, it just kind of irks me a little bit. Like, it's a little like, why would you do that? Why would you give us two controllers for the first one, but now you're gonna scale back and just give us one? I don't know. Maybe that's just me picking at it a little bit. Maybe that's I don't know. You guys tell me. Should it come with a second controller? Because I certainly think it should. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, that's all I got. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you guys on the next one.